Here's Clark. Picked up now by Dee Richards as she's into the ball game. Richards on the floor. Clark, the step back three just below the logo, drills it.
Watch that inside hand, that left hand. Caitlyn Clark gets away.
And Christy Sides told us we have got to find a body on Reese.
Clark
Gets freed up from up top.
What must one do in order to move from being a local sensation to becoming the face of the WNBA? From struggling through logo threes to breaking records and changing the status of women athletes, Caitlyn's story is an amazing one. Here is Caitlyn Clark's story about how she became so popular in such a short time.
Her ultra-competitiveness and passion for the game led her to join the powerhouse All-Iowa Attack program in Central Iowa back when she was in 6th grade, and at the same time, she attended Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines to play under head coach Kristen Meyer.
Caitlyn Clark isn't just a basketball girl. She's the revolution of the game. Caitlyn has been labeled the Steph Curry of women's basketball for her ability to influence what's possible on the court through logo threes, great court vision, and performances that have attracted millions of people to the WNBA. Her story, however, is not only a sports story. It's a story of being pushed back into a corner and coming out on top with an intricate cocktail of more baskets, tagged ambition, and determination. This story is inspiring. One of a small-town girl from Iowa reaching the top through sheer talent, hard work, and determination. With Caitlyn as a role model, others can dream of touching the sky.
Caitlyn Clark was born in West Des Moines, Iowa to Ann and Brent Clark. When Caitlyn was just about 2 or 3 years old, her parents sensed that she was going to be special. The daycare that she went to reported that she has exceptional motor skills and coordination.
Caitlyn Clark, born on January 22, 2002 in West Des Moines, Iowa, was a born competitor. Already a toddler, she possessed energy and determination, qualities which grew quite conspicuous very soon.
On top of that, the thing that really caught their attention was the incredible feistiness and competitiveness that she had shown at a very young age.
With the support of her parents, Caitlyn tried many different sports and found out that she liked volleyball, soccer, softball, and golf the most. But basketball, being a very fast sport and requiring many abilities, was always distinguished. At the age of 5, she was playing with boys in recreational leagues and was a beast among the bigger children.
Especially when I was younger, I really struggled with understanding losing, and my parents did not really appreciate that at all. Whenever I would lose, when I was in either softball, basketball, whatever it was.
Caitlyn's career-defining moment was when she started with the All-Iowa Attack program in the 6th grade, which is indeed a basketball factory. From there, her dominance only increased to new heights at Dowling Catholic High School under head coach Kristen Meyer. For her high school, before it became a platform to show that she could score, she used it as a platform to show the world that she's a leader, that she does not give up easily, and that indeed, sometimes is all one needs.
College or pro, she is a superstar.
up in time. Clark for the win.
Caitlyn came into the arena like a bolt out of the blue, scoring an average of 15 points, 4 assists, and 3 steals per game. Her splendid performances got her to the All-State 3rd team and a gold medal with the USA U16 team in Argentina. This first show was no fluke. It was a small glimpse into the future of what this woman was capable of. It was not the awards that really started to mark Caitlyn out. It was her ability to cope with the pressure.
She put women's basketball on the international map.
In her second year, Caitlyn scored an average of 27 points, grabbed 6 rebounds, and made 5 steals per game. She was able to guide the All-Iowa Attack to the championship in the Nike Elite Youth Basketball League and scored 34 points in the final game. She emerged as a national figure, defined her as a player who not only responded to the challenge, but excelled when it came to the 4.
She shot jump shots from the logo. She went Steph Curry on women's college basketball.
She going for history.
Caitlyn had an extraordinary season playing juniors that year. On February 4, 2019, she achieved what can be considered an iconic record, with 60 points in a single game, the second best total in the history of Iowa high school basketball, with 13 three-pointers, a state record. By the end of the season, she was scoring, on average, 32 points, 8 assists, and 6 steals, which was awarded the Gatorade Player of the Year. However, Caitlyn did not limit herself to that level. She had an eye on the next step to take after that.
She has been recognized as the girl counterpart of the greatest shooter on the planet and has single-handedly brought an insane amount of attention to the WNBA, unlike ever before.
To top off her last year of high school basketball, Caitlyn scored an average of 34 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds per game, making her Iowa's all-time leading scorer. Her ride through high school was not only about breaking records, but also about laying the foundation of the future of women's basketball.
Basketball became an obsession for Caitlyn. As a young hooper, she drew huge inspiration from four-time WNBA.
Though various major programs, such as Notre Dame, offered her contracts, she decided to stay closer to home and continue playing for the University of Iowa. This was a very private decision that showed her commitment and a desire to grow in the faster, up-tempo environment in Iowa. Her time with the Hawkeyes wasn't just a partnership. That was the decision in which she was thrust to showcase her future talents as a motivator, superintendent, and supremely gifted winner.
Caitlyn wasted no time in making a name for herself in high school.
Seeing her first collegiate action against Northern Iowa, Caitlyn contributed 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. By the end of the season, she was ranked on top in the NCAA, scoring an average of 26.6 points per game, making her the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. This dazzling season was an exciting performance filled with range, confidence, and superior court vision that made her a budding star in the country.
Really anything, and my mom always said, like, if you want to play with them, you got to find a way to hold your own. Like, you're the one that wants to hang out with them and play sports with them. Like, that's just how it's going to be.
In her second season, she helped take her team, Iowa, to the Big Ten Tournament Championship and gave a memorable 41-point performance in the semifinals. While the Hawkeyes' NCAA tournament outing was cut short, Caitlyn was unstoppable, averaging 27 points and 7 assists per game. She was not only a youth and talent, but she was the pillar of success.
From then on, she would continue her scoring rampage and ended up averaging 26.6 points, 7.1 assists, and 5.9 rebounds by the end of the season.
Her junior year changed the expectations that were set. Caitlyn guided Iowa to the Final Four, and the journey she made was record-breaking in NCAA history. She scored 41 points and had 12 assists and 12 rebounds in the Elite 8 game, making it the first of its kind in the NCAA tournament. For millions, Caitlyn's refusal to fear her position as the team's captain made her almost instantly recognizable.
The NCAA tournament and entered the Elite 8, where she recorded a monster stat line of 41 points, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds to defeat Louisville.
Caitlyn's experience in the senior season was the highlight of her college athletic experience. She broke the NCAA career scoring record on March 3rd, 2023, as she led the Hawkeyes to their third straight Big Ten Tournament Championship and another NCAA championship game, finishing her collegiate career scoring an average of 31 points and 8 assists per game. Caitlyn's considered to be among the greatest collegiate players of all time.
This time to South Carolina in an 87-75 point loss, despite having another year to try to win the national championship.
Declaring for the 2023 WNBA draft, Caitlyn was selected first overall by the Indiana Fever, and her impact on the league was immediate and transformative. Caitlyn Clark's entry into the WNBA sparked a chain of events that made the league into a show everyone wanted to watch, and viewership increased to record-breaking levels. The WNBA witnessed a huge increase in viewers, with an average viewership of 2 million per match.
Caitlyn decided to forego her 5th season of eligibility and announced that she would declare for the 2024 WNBA draft.
This was not mere curiosity. People in different corners of the world watched the games, waiting to see Caitlyn shine on her basketball court. Her dynamic plays, her pull-up threes, and her ability to come up with clutch plays in high-risk games turned general games into marquee games. It was not just a matter of quantity. Caitlyn's arrival revolutionized the league and made it the cultural event it is today, and a turning point in women's sports.
Of new records throughout her collegiate career, it was a no-brainer decision for the Indiana Fever to grab her as the #1 overall pick in the draft.
Her impact not only remained within television sets, but also came into sports arenas all over the country. The total attendance for all league games increased by a stunning 36%, and watching Caitlyn's Indiana Fever games became a thing itself. Football grounds were regularly full. Sometimes teams had to increase the number of available seats in order to fit the growing number of fans. Caitlyn's role was not to book the seats. She was building a culture, an energy, an eagerness to see a game that was contagious. For many, watching Fever play basketball games was not just basketball, but watching Caitlyn Clark perform live, which had become a phenomenon.
For the very first time in the WNBA's history, they have a legit superstar that could take them to new heights, and right off the bat, the Caitlyn Clark effect had taken the league by storm.
In addition to altering the viewership and attendance, Caitlyn became the most popular figure for fans in history. She set the record for the highest number of fan votes for the WNBA All-Star Game, explaining why the league's fans love her. This was not the kind of admiration. It was worship on an international level. Caitlyn had turned into a real character people wanted to see more of, whether it was in the most popular online sports facilities or when they were voting on the web. She had all the charisma, skill, and determination that placed her not only as a player, but also as a symbol of culture and sporting personality, and she slowly revolutionized the future of women's basketball.
Caitlyn Clark effect had taken the league by storm. Viewership ratings of the WNBA have significantly gone up the moment Caitlyn entered the league and in games where the Fever is playing.
As for her collegiate success skeptics, they wondered if she would similarly dominate the professional level. Caitlyn met all the expectations with hard work and determination. She's no longer the Steph Curry of women's basketball, but Caitlyn Clark, a unique basketball player who's making her way to the top. It's not only her success story, but also the story of an unfulfilled dream, new records to beat, and dreams of others to follow.
WNBA has to move to different arenas just to increase seat capacity and accommodate the flock fans that turned up to see Caitlyn.
As Caitlyn continues to push boundaries and shatter records, one thing is clear. Not only is she paving the way for the WNBA, but she's also writing her own story about the history of basketball. Her story is a sweet testament to the kind of magic that's born out of sheer talent and grit for success, which is not an innovation, but an uprising. What's been your favorite moment of Caitlyn's career? Or do you expect to see more of this WNBA star? Tell us about it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like it, share it with your friends who are basketball lovers, and subscribe to our channel for more sports motivation stories.